Surgery, the easy way out. Now, it's very funny when you think of it that way because most of the people don't think of surgery as the easy way out, but let me tell you why it is. Let's start with the most immediate pressing issue, the fact that my left hand is weak and it hurts again. Pretty sure my herniated disc is flaring up in my neck. Now, I wanted to get an MRI. I could get it, but then I was thinking, what's the point? The only reason I would get an MRI is to think about surgery. But then why would I want surgery? How is that going to help? I mean, you could go in and you could enlarge stuff, make there to be more space, but is that really going to help things when I really need to just improve my posture? My wife said, why are you all of a sudden not into using your phone, to holding your neck up? I was like, well, I mean, because I heard again. She's like, oh, now you're going to work on it, right? I mean, posture, all these exercises you're supposed to do, physical therapy. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do. It's day in, day out. But surgery is just so much easier and you get it done with, right? But there's risks to surgery. No neurosurgeon takes it lightly. You could potentially harm them more than you can help them. And I think that it's not applicable to everything, obviously, but I think the takeaway point is surgery is not the best option for most of us. As in those of us who are here watching YouTube who don't really have much in terms of serious medical issues. We should probably work on fixing it without surgery. Another example, I went to see about my nose because, I open my mouth a lot when I breathe, especially at night because you don't think about it. And that's probably not good for my throat. Apparently in the nose, the air is supposed to go in, it's supposed to aerate, humidify, all these beneficial things, and it goes into your mouth, does none of that. Filter, right? But the thing is, I went to talk to somebody, and I have a deviated septum, and I have a turbinate hypertrophy, so, I mean, I could get surgery, but the doctor was like, why would you do that when you could just take some medications, like Flonase? Well, because I don't like using that every day. Do I think it's risky? No. Do I dislike the taste? Yes. Does it like remembering to use it? Yes. Is it expensive? No. I mean, sort of silly, nitpicky answers, but the reality is it's hard to do stuff day in, day out, all the time. Lifestyle change, and it's much easier just to get it done with, one and done. I remember when I was in residency, I actually got my STI lanced. They're like, oh, just warm compress. Like, who has time for that? I'm a busy intern. I could barely sleep, right? You expect me to do this, like, regularly through the day when I'm working? So they did lance it, and it turned out to be fine. But the question is, do you have to do that to treat it, right? I mean, in the hospital, we often talk about overkill. Too much for a silly problem. But when is it not overkill? And I think that's one thing that's hard to determine. But I would say a lot of things that are spinal, muscular, I mean, the reality is we don't fix those things. And I think that's the takeaway point that often people don't understand. Options sound to be great. And people are often presented options by doctors. And, the problem is you say it like they're the same thing, but they're not. It's like going across the country. You're like, well, let's talk about options. So you could fly, you could drive, you could walk. I mean, seriously, you're going to walk across the U.S.? Like, I mean, it's an option if you have months, right? But it's not really on the same league as the other options, right? But we present them as such. I mean, I have a patient who cannot eat, and it's probably a lot of things psychological. And so she's on IV nutrition, and I think she was told, and she understands that this is great. It's like, no, it's not the same as using your gut. 100% not the same. No GI doctor would say it's the same. I mean, who told you? I didn't say that. Who told you it's the same? It's not. It's an inferior option, right? It's fallback, right? It's like when you want to get a nice car, you don't have the money, and you get a junky car. I mean, is it because you had options? Yeah, I mean, everybody has options. No rich person has to buy a junky car, right? I mean, no, rich person has to buy a nice car. They could buy a junky car, right? Some do. But the thing is, you do that because you don't have the ability to choose other things. And that goes into my next topic about this idea of, when do you give up? When have you tried hard enough? When do you say, I'm done. I can't do it. I can't get it.